Hey, English 303A. I am sending you guys this recording in lieu of our live session as I will be on a flight during the time of our session. All right, this is yesterday's page. Let me fast forward. There we go. Today is Wednesday, March 24th. Our assignments due this week are the 2.06 discussion. It's technically due today on Wednesday. However, I will not be zeroing it out today for the reasons that I shared yesterday. I want you guys to be able to have some more time to read the literature before responding to those questions if you choose to, if you want to. So yes, it is due today. Be thinking about it. Be thinking about what you're going to say in response to those questions, but you can submit that on Thursday or Friday if you prefer. And we have a 15 choice quiz also due on Friday. Our thought of the day comes from Thomas Edison when he said genius is 10%, inspiration 9. I'm sorry, let me read that again. Thomas Edison said genius is 10% inspiration, 90% perspiration. So I love that. Kind of like the Jefferson quote from yesterday, mostly about working hard and not just getting lucky or just being born with it, but that these guys who became famous for various reasons were working super hard at whatever that was. Question of the day is, what is your favorite thing about this time of year? I mentioned yesterday how spring is making me feel sneezy, but I do love spring. My family always loves planting a garden and just watching various things grow. My birthday's in the spring. Obviously, there's spring break to love. So what is something that you love about this time of year? All right, today we are continuing with the revolutionaries and we're talking specifically about the Declaration of Independence. Here are those same standards and objectives that I read yesterday and a reminder of the 9 pieces of literature that we're reading this week. So as of today, we should be here at number 5. Yesterday on Tuesday, I asked you guys to read the 2 excerpts by Benjamin Franklin and the 2 excerpts by Thomas Paine. So by the time you're reading or you're watching this video, you should have completed reading those. All right, you can look to the email where you got this video for more information about reading those pieces as well. Now today we're going to read the Declaration of Independence. I have a great video that I always show to my students when we're studying this piece of writing, and it is a video of famous actors and actresses reciting this very important document. So I think it's really interesting, a lot more fun than listening to me read it. It is also taped in the room where the Declaration itself was signed. Let me ask my husband, the history teacher, what is that building called? Where the Declaration of Independence was signed? It's in Philadelphia. We think it's called Independence Hall. But anyways, that room, the backdrop of the video that you're going to watch of those actors and actresses reciting the Declaration of Independence, just also pay attention to the background because that is the actual room where the committee signed the document. So that's pretty cool. So after today, we'll be done with number 5 here. Then for Thursday and Friday, we're talking about these 4 pieces of writing. 2 of them are poems and one of them's a poem, now a song, the Star Spangled Banner. So these are going to go much quicker. Okay. So I want you to stay with it and keep on pace because it will reward you in the end. You'll have an easier Thursday and Friday. All right, moving on. Due this week, the discussion board post and the quiz. Just a little, trying to get your mind going on this topic, the Declaration of Independence, who wrote it. I know we're not in class together right now. I would be asking you to give it your best guess, but it was namely penned by Thomas Jefferson. It was signed on July 4th, 1776. That's why we celebrate on that day. That's why we call it our Independence Day. That is the day that we, or the colonists, declared independence. That's why the document is called the Declaration of Independence. They were declaring it. The Revolutionary War was not yet won. It wasn't finished. But that from that day on, they were defending what they declared. All right, so before the 4th of July, they were fighting for their independence, but then they declared, no, we are from this point on apart, separated, divided from you. We're not part of Great Britain anymore. And now from here on out, we're going to defend that declaration. So it was mainly penned by Jefferson, but you can see the committee here other men who worked on writing it as well. And here's that room. So the video that you're going to watch of them reciting the document is in this room. So this background here will look a little bit familiar as you open up that video in just a second. All right, I just wanted to give you a little encouragement as you read a document like this, a text like this. Don't feel too concerned about understanding each and every word. Jefferson was writing in very proper and advanced English. Try to listen and understand the general idea of what is being communicated. All right, this wasn't a document or a piece of writing that they could just flippantly, casually write. They were saying one of the most, one of the strongest statements that they could make. The statement of, we are now an independent country. So you don't want to mess around with that. You have to be as strong in your verbiage as possible, because you want to be taken seriously. So for that reason, it is very proper and advanced language. So don't get discouraged in the word to word, feel, like you're just walking through mud. Just try to step back and understand the general idea. That's another reason I like to play this video, because we can all just, watch it and listen for the main points. All right, I am going to go over main points with you as well. The video itself is 9 minutes and 41 seconds long, so we would typically be taking this portion of the session to watch it together, but I'm just going to send you that as a separate link. All right, here are the main points. Speaking of my husband over there, the history teacher, he helped me come up with these. All right, so there are 5 main points of this document, the Declaration of Independence. So you see them in this like reddish color, this like light red, and then in the white, you'll see an actual quote from the document that supports that main idea. All right, so there are 5. We're going to read them now. Here we go. The number 1 main point: government gets its power from the people. All right, so like this quote right here says from the document, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. So those being governed by this group of politicians must have the consent of the people that they are governing. Okay, that's the first point they make. So they're basically telling King George III, we do not consent to you governing us, and that's something you would need. All right, number 2, government exists to protect people's rights. All right, a really famous line from the document. Among these unalienable rights are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Number 3, if the government fails to do its job of protecting the people have the right to replace it. Okay, that's the next point they make in the Declaration of Independence. And in that area, it says this quote right here: whenever any form of government becomes destructive of these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. So there you go. 2 more main points. Number 4 says, a list of grievances against Great Britain. This is actually the longest section of the document. So basically they say, okay, here's our first point, our second point, our third point, and here's why you no longer fit the bill. You no longer are able to do this for us. And then they just have this long list of grievances. So another word for grievances would be complaints. These are the reasons that they do not want to be associated with King George III anymore, or the government of Great Britain. All right, so the quote here is, he, being King George III, he has plundered our seas, ravaged our coasts, burnt our towns, and destroyed the lives of our people. So that's just one little summary of the section of the document that goes on the longest. So you're going to hear a lot of those grievances being listed. All right, and then at the very end of the document, they basically say, therefore, we declare independence. This is a really good example for us to look at just in terms of essay writing. All right, so they go into these different explanations of how they define government. Then they go into examples of how your government is not working. It is not fitting our definition of what government does per all of these grievances and complaints we're listing for you. Therefore, It's like, here's the conclusion. Boom, we are now declaring independence. All right, so it's a very well organized essay. Okay, so at the end, we hear these united colonies are and of right ought to be free and independent states. So at that point, from that point on, when the document is signed, they are now defending that fact. We are free and we will beat you on the battlefield in order to defend that fact. So at the time, Great Britain didn't yet consider us a free and liberated country, but the colonists did. All right, and the war continued until 1983. All right, so here are some slides of the document itself. I'm not going to read it or have you read it from these slides though, because you are going to open up that link now. It's a 9-minute, 41-second video. Again, here are those 5 main points with the quotes taken out so you can just see them. Government gets its power from the people, exists to protect the people's rights, can be replaced if it fails to do that. Here's a list of what you did wrong. Therefore, we declare independence. All right, our exit ticket question today, but please do not neglect or fail to go watch the video of the Declaration of Independence. I'm telling you, it's going to be more enjoyable than this video of me, so give it a chance. All right, but your exit ticket question is, of the following are named, all of the following are named unalienable rights except which of the following? So A, liberty, B, freedom of speech, C, life, or D, the pursuit of happiness. All right, I kind of hope that you guys all get to a point where this quote from the Declaration of Independence can kind of roll off the tongue. It says that we have these unalienable rights. Among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So the answer to that would be B. Freedom of speech is not listed as an example there. Okay. Thank you for watching this video. Your word of the day for today is voices. V-O-I-C-E-S. Voices. Voices. All right, you can now go over and watch that video of the actors reciting it. Have a great day. I will see you guys in our live session tomorrow morning. Thanks, guys. Bye.